My health was really bad. And as I said,
Mm-hmm.
when I was home, I'm in bed. My son was, I'm like, I knew we were going to deal a lot, but at the time in my mind, I was going to be home anyway. It would be fine. Um, but I didn't realize the mental and emotional toll that homeschooling a child who was in not a great place was going to be.
Yeah.
Your brain starts to have to process a lot of new stuff. You're almost learning a new language because all of these
That's a
things
good
are new,
point. Yeah.
right? You're having to use the frontal cortex a lot in your brain. You're filing away new information. You're constantly processing. It's not like when you get in a routine and you're on autopilot, everything
Right.
is brand
Yeah.
new.
That's a good
You,
point.
right? You remember the first day of a job and you're like that for a while.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. You're in that place for a while
I always
because
said it
you,
takes about 5 years with
I'm like,
homeschooling.
right? But do you even know how to get in the password? Or you think you know something and then you hear another, there's a lot of doubt and a lot of worry. And with my health issues, I was still in bed. So my parents meant well, they're amazing. And I hope they're out there watching tonight and they supported us, but it was the fear of we'll pay for private school or we'll help, or how can we bring in help or support? And I felt God telling me very distinctly, do not put him in another school. That money will not solve this problem. He needs to
Right.
be home with you. And I was like, okay. So here I was. And the time, it was hard. I don't want people to have this false sense that our lives were wonderful. We actually had to get me a hospital bed which I still have when I need, but very rarely now. I have a tray that comes up, like literally like when you're in a hospital.
Yeah.
My computer was set up and it casted up on the TV. So his lessons. Um, and days that were tough. Now, granted, I have a husband who was not gone all the time. He could work out of his office, so he was there. My son was older. We had support that came in and parents that would take him. But I needed to look for respite in my day, and I needed to know when I was off. If anybody's out there, especially if you have children, my youngest had a lot of needs. All hours of the night, I'm not sleeping, and you have your own health issues. And I needed respite. And I know right now with COVID, respite's very hard,
It
but
is.
it's very hard. But for many of these families, bringing them home means all of that support's gone. In many states like mine, you're not getting the therapies or the treatments you're really stuck
Yeah.
on your own. And then it feels like there's more work. And there is,
There is.
there
Yeah.
is, but a lot goes
You
away.
don't
A
have to
lot of the,
follow the same school schedule
right,
of so many therapies
right.
all the time. Your
Oh my
child will
goodness.
not, they will not
Oh my goodness.
fail if they
They
don't
will
do
not
physical
fail.
therapy
But
7 days a week.
no, no, no. But the good news is your physical therapy turns into ways that are really just in your house. And
Yeah.
you slow your schedule. You sleep more. That's one thing I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
encourage you to do is do not have them up at 7:30 and in your classroom at 7:45 or whatever your time is.
No.
Slow it
Mm-hmm.
down.
Yeah.
School does not take as long as you think it does. It really
Mm-hmm.
doesn't,
Yeah.
guys. Start off slow. Put the time in for yourself. And a couple things I've implemented in my house is we have quiet time. My son's older now, so everybody gets a break. And I mean everybody. If I have to work or my kids have independent play, they're always monitored. That's not really, but he's there. But we're not talking and engaging and mom's not on.
Right.
There's a difference. And for those of you who have kids that pull at you all the time, you know what I mean. Those kids,
Yeah.
right? Like, mom, 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 mom.
Right.
So we have quiet time. And that could be where he's building a project right, his door's right on the other side of my office. He's right there. But he could be building Legos or working on a project or watching a documentary, but it's quiet. It's almost like nap time when they're little. It's sort of
Right.
my adult
Yeah.
nap time. It's quiet time.
Just independent time.